Hello there guys and welcome, it is Niran here, and today it is time for me to bring you episode number 4 of our Leicester City career mode here on FIFA 16, and last time out I left you guys with a massive decision. In the end it was extremely close. We'll talk about the strikers a little bit afterwards, but obviously I asked you guys what fullbacks and what strikers you would want to see. Now if we could smash 80 likes on this episode of career mode, that would be absolutely massively appreciated. But getting into the fullbacks now, you guys, I said I had a preference to Bellerin, and you guys said you wanted me to sign Perez. So in the end, I can't go against you guys, so I'm going to sign Bruno Perez, the 79 stat 25-year-old player from Torino. Now, moving on to the strikers, Bertrand Traore and Moses Simon were fairly easily out of the running, so we're not going to be signing either of those two, which means we're down to Divock Origi and Bril Donald Mbolo, and you guys said yes to Bril Donald Mbolo. It was very close. There's confirmation there of signing Bril Mbolo and also Bruno Perez from Torino. It was very, very close between Divock Origi and Mbolo, but at the time I recorded this episode, Mbolo had won. I also tossed a coin and Mbolo won, and there were more comments for Mbolo. So I think just about, in terms of luck and also in terms of judgment from you guys, Bril Donald Mbolo just about won. And I'm fairly happy with that because he's 18 years of age and 76 overall. As you can see in the background there, you can see his attributes as well. I'll also do the same for Bruno Perez in a moment. And this guy has got mad potential. 88 potential. We got him for £9.8 million. Same for Bruno Perez. I did want to get some youth scouts. I will show you that next episode though, but because we spent like £19.6 million on two players, we've only got like £6.5 million left in the kitty, which is still enough to get to like 2 youth scouts, but it leaves it a bit closer to the bone. But obviously those are the two guys that you wanted me to sign. So in the end, we are going to be going with Bril Donald Mbolo from Basel for £9.8 million. And we're going to be signing Bruno Perez. But now it is time, after those transfers, to give those guys a debut. But Bril Donald Mbolo will not be featuring in this game against Bournemouth, because we've got one man who is massively in form, and you see him on the screen, Andre Kramaric, who's already scored a ridiculous amount of goals so far this season. But Bruno Perez does come into the side to replace Delat and make his debut. Robert Huth also comes in to replace Wes Morgan, with Kante and King as the defensive mids, Dyer and Sisto as the wingers, and Vardy and Kramaric up front. And it would be us starting more positively. Sisto putting it inside there for N'Golo Kante. Vardy there finding Kramaric. Kramaric unleashing the strike. Or unleashing the strike even, but it's a good save from the Pole, Artur Boruc, in the Bournemouth goal. And just a few minutes later, we're going forward again. Nathan Dyer putting it to the back post for Kramaric. He controls it, but again, Boruc manages to get a hand on it. And it's very much Kramaric versus the world at the minute, and he's looking very good. Bournemouth's first chance coming just before the 20-minute mark there, with Lee Tomlin forcing a save out of Kasper Schmeichel. But it's still 0-0, despite Kramaric's best efforts, because Artur Boruc is being an absolute don in the Bournemouth goal. And yet again, for the third time in this game, he's thwarted the Croatian. But Pione Sisto now going forward for Boruc. Boruc pulling off the save. Kramaric puts it in, but he's offside, and the goal will not count. So it remains 0-0. After a pretty damn hectic first half. Callum Wilson, though, managing to skip past Robert Huth, and he hits the post. So how this game is still goalless is absolutely beyond me. Both teams looking pretty positive. Pione Sisto is now cutting inside. He's going to try and unleash a strike. It's deflected, but it will fall to Vardy, and what a save that is from Artur Boruc. And Boruc is having an absolutely incredible game. We're going forward again, though, on the counter-attack. Dyer finding Okazaki. He puts it through for Kramaric, who cuts back beyond the defender. Can he slot it past the goalkeeper Boruc? This time he can. And finally, we've managed to break down Bournemouth, who, to be fair, have attacked pretty well themselves, but we've finally managed to get the better of Artur Boruc, and we make it 1-0 after 77 minutes. But Bournemouth, I'm sure, will try and attack, and they are doing so. Poor first touch there from Robert Huth, and it's ended up being a free kick. I'm not entirely sure what that was for, but the referee's given a free kick in an extremely dangerous position. Max Gradel will step up and take it, and he puts it right in the top corner, and there is nothing we can do about that. Rather questionable decision, to be fair, in terms of the free kick. Really not entirely sure what it was given for, but Max Gradel, just 6 minutes after we got the lead, makes it 1-1, and that is how the game would end at the Vitality Stadium against Bournemouth. Don't ask me why there was a dog running in the background. Nevertheless, this game does end 1-1, thanks to goals from Andre Kramaric and Max Gradel of Bournemouth. So, not too bad, not a bad result. We remain second in the table after that result. But now getting back into transfers, one player we were wanting to loan out was Johan Benaloon to get him off the wage bill, and thankfully Watford have come in with a 1-year loan offer, and we're going to be loaning him out. This is now moving on to deadline day. Now, In terms of buying players, this is the final action in terms of buying players in this entire transfer window. I got a lot of suggestions for me to buy Daniel Amati, who is a young centre-mid from Copenhagen. I feel as if we could try and bring in now, because we've got a bit of money to spare, we could probably try and bring in a prospect player. And I feel as if a centre-mid who can also play as a defensive mid and an attacking mid is the area we need to look at in terms of prospect players. We've got young players dotted around the pitch, but not really in terms of central midfielders, apart from N'Golo Kante. So we're looking for a few young centre mids. We've looked at Daniel Amati, who is a young player who can play as a centre mid, centre defensive mid, or a centre back from the Danish league. We're also looking at Viktor Kovalenko of Shakhtar Donetsk, and also making a loan offer for Dele Alli of Tottenham. Now, Kovalenko, we got offers accepted for the amounts that you saw beforehand, just below £3 million for both Amati and Kovalenko. We offered future first team player for both Kovalenko and Amati, because that is going to be a situation. I can't beat around the bush with them. They're not going to be first team players for another season or so. But unfortunately, they were not willing to accept either of those contracts. And given that Dele Alli has got lower wages, and of course we don't have to pay anything for him in terms of the deal, we've decided to go in for Dele Alli and make a loan offer or a loan signing for the young centre mid from Tottenham. He's only 68 overall, but at the end of the day, he can play as a cam, he can play as a centre mid, he can play as a defensive mid, he can fix holes, he can plug holes whenever we get injuries, because it seems as if injuries are quite a fundamental part of this game. As you can see there in the background, deadline day is now over, having bought Dele Alli instead of buying Kovalenko or Daniel Amati. I will try and buy Daniel Amati in the future, because I know quite a lot of you guys did suggest him. In the background though, now that all the transfers are done, it is time to meet the new and improved squad. And in the background you can see all the growth and the attributes for the certain players. Piona Sisto has now gone up 2 in overall, Danny Drinkwater at 1, same for Mark Albright and Richie Delat had gone up 1, Jack Barmby the youngster at 1, Jeffrey Schlupp up 1 as well. So quite a lot of natural growth as well as training growth for quite a lot of the players. And Ben Chilwell actually has gone up 2 overall already, and he hasn't even really been trained, so that's quite astonishing. So Ben Chilwell, we might have to train him in future, because he looks like quite a young and promising player. Bruno Perez, who we bought at a 79 overall player, has already gone up to an 80 overall player, despite only being at the club for 4 in-game days, which is quite astonishing. So he's another 80 overall player, and he's our second 80 overall player in the squad behind Gökhan Inler, who had also gone up in 1 overall to 81. But now it is time to get into the second game of this episode, and we are of course playing Aston Villa. Going into this game 4th in the table, because we're playing on a Sunday, and a few of the other teams had already played. Arsenal had won and United had drawn. Now you can see the squad in the background, completely unchanged back 5. Inler back into the squad to replace King, Dyer and Sisto as the wingers, and Briel Mbolo coming in to make his debut to replace Jamie Vardy. And he would be set away already by Andre Kramaric, and it is an instant impact from Briel Donald Mbolo. The Swiss striker makes it 1-0 in just the 24th minute. 24 minutes into his debut, he's set away by Andre Kramaric, outstrengths Jordan Amavi, the left back from Aston Villa, and coolly opens his body up, slots it past Brad Guzan in the Aston Villa goal, and it's just a fantastic debut for Briel Donald Mbolo. Hopefully there is more of that to come. Nevertheless, we're still going forward with Kramaric, but at half-time it is still 1-0 thanks to that man Briel Mbolo getting a goal on his debut to put us into the second half 1-0 up, and we're going forward again. Mbolo setting away Nathan Dyer there with a lovely through ball. He's got Kramaric in the box. He wants his 7th of the season, and he gets his 7th of the season. Andre Kramaric with the lovely little toe poke there. A bit of a sweaty goal, but a lovely triple tap cross from Nathan Dyer, and it's 2-0 thanks to that man again, the incredible Croatian. Nevertheless, at the end of the game, Aston Villa have offered absolutely nothing, but they're overcommitting players forward now to try and get at least a consolation, and they've given away a penalty after Andy King dispossessed Amavi. Amavi's come in there, and he's managed to take down Andy King, and from the resulting penalty, Shinji Okazaki, the substitute, the man who came on I think for Mbolo late on in the game, has made it 3-0 with his second goal of the season so far. And, well, it's a 3-0 victory, despite there not really being too many chances or much domination in that game whatsoever. But Briel Donald Mbolo, the main man of the show, he gets a goal on his debut. Nevertheless, it's time to look at training before this episode now ends. We'll be looking at Mbolo specifically next episode because of that debut goal. But as you can see, we're focusing on Piona Sisto after such a good episode last time where he set up 3 goals. Maybe we should name him Pione Assisto. I'm thinking we name him. We give him a nickname, Pione Assisto. We'll see. We'll just leave that in the comment section if you want me to call him Pione Assisto. But as you can see, in training, in 2 weeks of just being solidly trained, being the only person occupying the 5 training slots, he's actually gone up another overall. So he is now 76, and Sisto has now gone up by 2 after being at the club for 2 months. So he looks as if he's going to be a fantastic player. We'll see if we can get him to like 80 overall by the end of the season. But now, just ending the episode, there you can see the table in the background. Chelsea are 4 points clear of us at the top of the table, but we are still unbeaten. Chelsea are unbeaten. They've won all 5 of their games, but we are unbeaten. Same for Arsenal, same for United, and same for Newcastle there in 6th place. But nevertheless, if you've enjoyed this episode, feel free to smash the likes button. 80 likes would be absolutely awesome, and subscribe for FIFA 16 career mode content in the future. Comment about enjoying the video if you enjoyed it that much, as well as your thoughts on my transfers overall in this transfer window, and whether you want me to start using youth scouts as well to try and get some players into the youth academy. Drop that in the comment section below. Would you like me to start using youth scouts to get some youth players and potentially start a new dynasty here at Leicester with some youth players too? But nevertheless, it's been an absolute pleasure ranting at you guys today. Thank you guys for being so active and being so helpful in this series and suggesting players, and also for supporting it so much. It just means so much to me. So I absolutely love you guys. But thank you so much for watching. Have a good day, enjoy yourselves, and goodbye.